I'll be putting it. So if you are yet to cover anything from those lectures, then kindly go on to the YouTube and you can visit that and you will get an idea. So let me just check out. I think we have covered till epididymis. Okay, we have covered till epididymis, but then also let me just confirm.
Last papers, and then we'll talk about
just a minute. Okay, let me check on the YouTube on this. So you discussed till the ejaculatory duct. Okay, I'm just using a highlight. Okay, so if any doubts in that, guys, any problems with that, what are we have covered in the last lecture? If you have any problems, then please feel free to ask. If you have any issues in whatever we have covered in last lecture, we have covered till the ejaculatory duct. Okay, so we discussed about vas deferens, epididymis, okay, retrotestis, everything which we have discussed. So now if you have any problems in that, you can ask me. Still people are joining. Any issues, guys? Anyone? कोई problem છે last માં discuss કર્યું તો એમાં? Are you all awake, guys? Any issues in whatever we discussed in last lecture? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so any problems in last lecture, else we'll move further. We have discussed till vas deferens and we have discussed about the seminal vesicle and all. Okay, so now we'll move on further and we'll discuss about how ejaculatory duct will be formed. Okay, so we have discussed all of this. Okay, now we'll move on and we'll discuss about the how the seminal vesicle, okay, will be opening into the urethra and how it is responsible for forming the ejaculatory duct. Okay, so as you can see, the image is for your reference what we have discussed last time. So now we're discussing about we'll discuss about this part, that is seminal vesicle, prostate gland, urethra, bulbarethral. So in today's lecture, we'll be discussing about this region. This entire region we'll be discussing. Okay. So I hope you are all clear with retatestes, vasa differentia, vasa efferentia, okay, which I had explained to you. If still you have any doubts, you can ask me, else you can go on to YouTube, and in my YouTube channel, you can go through those lectures. Okay. So the next thing is we're discussing about seminal vesicle. We're discussing about seminal vesicle. So these are all accessory glands. Okay. So basically what will happen, how the ejaculatory duct will be formed, that is what we are talking about. The ejaculatory duct will be formed from the vas deferens. So the vas deferens will combine with seminal vesicle and it forms ejaculatory duct. Okay. Now the secretion of seminal vesicle also helps in forming semen, which contains sperms. Okay. So this is what we have discussed. Now this ejaculatory duct will later on pass through prostate glands and then it will open in urethra. So the ejaculatory duct will pass through prostate glands, which is on the both the sides, and opens in urethra. Everyone from next lecture onwards, be on time. Okay. I'll wait for only 5 minutes and then we'll start. Okay. Maximum I'll wait for 5 minutes, then we'll start. So here, as you see, this part there is seminal vesicle. Okay. Here, as you see, this part is seminal vesicle. Then prostate on both the sides. Okay, this is prostate. And then it will go over here, there will be bulbourethral gland. Okay. And then in between, as you see this passage, this will be passing through this central passage. So from both the side there are two testes, so we'll have two vas deferens, okay, passing, as you can see. And this one, this is epididymis, then vas deferens, and then this will go through here, and then it will pass through this part. Okay, this is what we have is prostate, this is bulbourethral, this is over here we have the seminal vesicle. Okay, this part we have seminal vesicle, and then it will move to the outside. So it will pass through the prostate gland on both the sides and opens into urethra. Okay, any problems in this, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, kindly be responsive, then only it will be worth. Okay, if you will be responsive, I would be inclined to give you more content. Otherwise, it will be, I also feel that there is no response, so textbook and just some of the part is enough. Now see, next is urethra. Okay, so as you know, in male, okay, this ejaculatory duct will basically join the urinary bladder canal, the ureter, and then forms the urinary canal. So this arises from urinary bladder, and it joins the ejaculatory duct, okay, to form urinogenital canal, urinogenital canal. So what it collects, the role of it, this is, it collects, male is a single way to discard urine as well as sperms, okay. So it collects sperms or semen, as you can call it, okay. Then it has secretion of seminal vesicles, prostate glands, and Cowper gland. Cowper gland means it is another name for bulbarethral. Okay, Cowper is another name for bulbourethral. Okay, so it will have all these secretions. Okay, so it carries, as well as it carries urine also. Okay, as well as it carries urine also. Okay, so we are talking about this part now. We are talking about this part mainly. So this passage which you see, this one, okay, that is what we are talking about. So mainly it collects, carries urine also, as well as it collects sperms, secretion of seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and Cowper glands. Okay. Now moving further, what will happen that mainly the urethra, please turn off your mic. So next is what we are talking about, the external opening. Okay, so on the outside, okay, on the outside, as we talk about the external opening, over here in this region we are talking about, it was what we call as, it forms the urethral meatus. Okay, it forms the urethral meatus. So this is terms urethral meatus. The urethral meatus has mainly two sphincters. Okay, so the urethra opening has two sphincter muscle. As you know, in our body, anything which is open and closed, okay, anything which is opening and closing capacity, it will have two, so it will have sphincter muscles. Okay, body માં જે પણ parts માં opening closing થઈ શકતું હશે, it will have sphincter muscles. Okay, so urethra has two sphincters. Okay, and through this the opening is regulated. Through this the opening is regulated. Okay, now any problems in this, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, just a moment to connect my headphones. Okay, so now next is we are talking about the accessory glands. We are talking about the accessory glands. Okay, and then we'll move on to the external genitalia. Okay, then we'll move on to the external genitalia. So we are talking about male accessory reproductive glands. We are talking about male accessory reproductive glands. Okay, so there are three. Okay, so there are three, as you know. So the first one is what we call as seminal vesicle. Okay, I already shown you in the presentation. We'll also see it today at the end of the lecture. Okay, first let us study the theoretical part. Then second is there is prostate gland, and then third is there is bulbarethral gland or Cowper's gland. Okay, both are synonyms. Okay, you can use any of the term. Either you can use bulbarethral or you can use Cowper's gland. Okay, so we have human male has three accessory reproductive glands. Okay, so first we'll talk about the seminal vesicle. First we'll talk about the seminal vesicle. Okay, so see, seminal vesicle is a narrow long pouch like structure which we have already discussed. As you can see, this is seminal vesicle, this part, both of this is seminal vesicle. You can see my pointer, this is seminal vesicle. Okay, so seminal vesicle has mainly, it is a narrow long pouch like structure. Okay, it secretes alkaline viscous seminal fluid. Okay, the secretion is alkaline viscous seminal fluid. Okay, so 60% of the semen 60% of semen is formed by this fluid. Okay, it's formed by this fluid. Remember that it is formed by this fluid. Okay, now what it contains. Okay, so they ask this frequently. It contains what? It has mainly fructose, because sperms can move and they need energy to movement, and for the energy will be provided from sugar, and sugar over here is fructose. It also contains calcium. Calcium is needed for fertilization, which we'll study further, and it also has prostaglandin. Also has prostaglandin. These prostaglandins will stimulate vaginal contraction. During the sexual intercourse, it will stimulate vaginal contraction so that the sperm can reach and fertilize the egg cell. So that the sperm can reach and fertilize the egg cell. Okay, so over here, as you see, this is the first one, and the contribution of seminal vesicle in forming semen is highest. તો semenમાં સૌથી વધારે seminal vesicle નું secretion જે હશે તે હશે. They ask this question frequently, so you should know that it contains fructose, calcium, and prostaglandins. Okay, so this is the first one which we have discussed. Now second one on the way is bulbarethral. So as you can see, now we are discussing about this part, that is the bulbarethral gland. We talked about this one. Now we are moving on to bulbarethral, and then we will talk also about the prostate gland. Okay, so we'll talk about prostate, and then we'll go on to bulbarethral. So second we'll be talk about talking now we'll be talking about prostate gland, and then we'll move on to the bulbarethra. Okay, because these three are accessory glands. So any problems in this, guys?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so let us go on further. Second is, wait, I'll also at the end I'll also show you a PPT, but first let us cover the theoretical part. Prostate gland. So prostate gland, it provides nutrition to sperms. Location is below urinary bladder, and 30% of semen is formed by prostate gland. Okay, it forms 30% of the semen, as you can see. Now it contains what? The secretion, the prostate gland secretion contains, it contains some lipids, that is mainly cholesterol, citric acid, okay, bicarbonate ions, and some enzymes. Why? It is needed to enter and for entering the egg cell of the female. So remember the question, ask this question about citric acid, okay, about bicarbonate ions also, that which vitamin C or citric acid is inside the prostate gland secretion. Okay, so got it, guys? This is about the prostate. So the role is to provide nutrition to sperms, and it also contains some enzymes. And 30% of semen is formed by secretion of prostate gland. Okay, and the third one is Cowper's gland. Now the third one is Cowper's gland. As you see, third one is this bulbarethral, also termed as Cowper's. Okay, this is also termed as Cowper's gland. Okay. So third one is what we call as bulbarethral or Cowper's gland. These are size of a pea seed. Okay, the size is watanana dana jo pea seed sized. Okay, it secretes alkaline fluid. Okay, so the role is, it is mainly accessory role, that is it lubricates the end of penis. So during the sexual intercourse, it reduces friction, okay, within the vagina. And also the other role is it coats the urethra before release of sperms. It coats the urethra before release of sperms to neutralize uric acids. To neutralize uric acid. Now see what happens that during the sexual intercourse, when the penis enters the vagina, okay, usually during that condition when the sperms are going to be released, so to reduce the friction, lubrication is provided by this gland. Other role is, as you know, in male there is single urinogenital tract. So there is single tract from which where sperms and urine is released. So urine is acidic, and the sperms can die if this acidic, in this acidic medium, the sperms will be released and they will die. So to prevent sperms from dying, okay, to prevent some sperms from getting hydrolyzed, when there is ejaculation, before ejaculation, the bulbarethral gland will mainly coat the urethra to neutralize the acids, so that sperms will not get hydrolyzed, and they will not be neutralized by uric acid. There will be no effect of uric acid. So to maintain the pH, to make it alkaline, as you know, it secretes the alkaline fluid. Okay, so that's the reason that it secretes alkaline fluid, and because of that, it maintains the bulbarethral gland secretion is required. Okay, as you can see over here. So it is to neutralize the acids of the urine or the urine. Clear this much? Any problems in these three glands, guys? Any
No,
issues?
sir.
Did I send you the lecture notes last time or not? I'm not sure whether I had sent you or not. Whether I had sent it or not, I'm not sure. Last lecture में तुमने any lecture notes PDF मोकली थी कि नोती मोकली? Or do you remember, or you are also not sure?
Sir, you have sent to Abid, sir.
Okay. So I haven't sent it to you when the lecture got over in the Zoom, in the chat box. I'll send it today. Okay, today remind me before when the lecture gets over. Send it 2 days and the last also. So you can collect from Abid sir.
Okay, sir.
Either what you can do is you can talk to Abid sir and you can make a WhatsApp group. Okay, and add me into that. So separate WhatsApp group for your 12, so I can keep on sharing it every day. I do the same thing with all the classes. So whatever I want to share, I can keep on sharing it. And you can see the lectures on my YouTube channel also if you wish to see again. That I'll be putting after every, like at the end of every week almost. Okay, so if the meeting ends, then join on the same ID. We'll continue further. So now, so basically the arrangement is, if you want to check it out manually, then let's say over here there is urinary bladder. Okay. Then from this bladder, there will be ureters which will be going. There will be ureters which will be going in this manner. This will be carrying urine. Okay. Over here, there will be testicles. Okay. And from the testicles, there will be this vast difference and everything will come. It will pass over here. It will go to this bladder in this manner. Because on both these sides, this will be passing and coming over here. On the way, okay, then from this part, there will be this urinogenital passage, and that this will open through the outside through the glans penis. So this is what we have discussed. So over here, if we talk about the structures, then seminal vesicle will be somewhere on this route. Okay, there will be seminal vesicle on this route. It will be, okay, this manner. Then there will be prostate, and then there will be bulbarethral. Okay, so then there will be prostate which will be coming over here. And then there will be bulbarethral, and then this is the urethra part. So you can have seminal vesicle, prostate over here, you can have bulbarethral over here. So in this manner, the arrangement is C. Okay, so as you can also see in the same case over here, seminal vesicle is there, then prostate, and then we have bulbarethral. Okay, now this is maybe there has been lot has been covered. Okay, so this way it may be. Anyways, so now the last part in this is sorry, excuse me. So now we'll talk about the male external genitalia. Now we're talking about male external genitalia. So there is only one main thing in male external genitalia, that is penis. Okay, female external genitalia is a lot more complex. So penis is mainly the external organ which we see. Okay, which is the externally seen reproductive organ. So what it contains? Penis contains specialized erectile tissue. Penis contains specialized erectile tissue. It is for erection. In the times of sexual arousal, it will show erection, and for insemination, that is to release the sperms or the semen. Okay, it will. So why it will happen? Because it has blood sinuses. It has, there is no bones in it, but it has blood sinuses which gets filled with blood, and that leads to erection of the penis. Okay, now penis has mainly two parts. That is, it is also covered by foreskin. So the thing is, first is it has something called foreskin or prepuce. So the front end is covered by this foreskin. So the glans penis or the enlarged end, okay, glans is covered by foreskin. Okay, so what is glans penis? It is the enlarged end of the penis. So glans penis is enlarged end of the penis. So glans penis is the what we call as the enlarged end of the penis. Okay. So if you take a section of the penis, okay, if you take a section of the front part of the penis, you may see this sort of section can be seen. Okay, that is the meeting ends join on the same eye. This way you can see the section. This covering which you see, it is skin. Over here there is erectile tissue. Okay, this is the urethra opening, also termed as penile urethra. Okay, here you see a septum or a division. Okay, and a artery will be supplied from here, and this part there will be vein supply. If the meeting ends, join on the same ID. Okay.